Hi folks, welcome to my show, Nathan's 3D Factory. My name is Nathan Adams. I'm really happy you're with me. Make sure you subscribe and like if you like this stuff. So, I really hope you enjoy this content. Also, check out my homepage at shemble.com. Also, check me out on Facebook, give me a like, give me a follow, facebook.com/ShembleStudio. Finally, I hope you follow me on Twitter at ShembleStudio. So in today's topic, we're going to be talking about doing iPad cover. This iPad cover is going to be an industrial themed. It's going to be a Trussworks iPad cover. That's what I'm going to be calling it today. So without further ado, we're going to get into our Blender scene and let's start this up. So in my Blender scene, you can see that I have the iPad cover, or I should say the iPad right here. So we're going to add a plane. Going to be doing a couple things. Let's see if we can get into it. There we go. All right. So what I want to do is I want to size this so that it is on the size of the iPad cover, or on the iPad. I'm going to have it so it's going to be fitting exactly as it should. And then I'm going to do a couple of other things, because in the real world, honestly, if you were to do this so it fit exactly as the iPad size, there'd be some problems. You wouldn't be able to actually fit it into the device. So we're going to solve that. So first of all, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to tab into edit mode. I'm going to scale by pressing S along the Y-axis. All right, scale along the X-axis. There we go. Making sure to snap to those points as I'm doing this. And then I'm going to extrude up. E, Z. There we go. And that last face that I just created, I'm going to press X, V for vertices. There we go. Actually, I did not want to do that, so let's undo that. X, F for face. There we go. Now, we have our surrounding box. We can start modeling this thing. So I'm going to tab out of edit mode now. I'm going to add a modifier. I am going to do the Shrinkwrap. Let's see if I can find it here. Shrinkwrap. There we go. On this Shrinkwrap, I'm going to use my target object as the iPad. There we go. And then I'm going to offset this, and in the mode, project. I'm not going to worry about any of this stuff. Offset 0.3. One thing I forgot to mention as well is that in my scene, I am set on metric. Now, I have this one set to millimeters. That way we get accurate stuff with our 3D print. So before I started this episode, I made sure to get the sizing on the iPad. On the next episode, I'm going to be doing more particular stuff. I'm going to be making sure that we get the front part of it, and I'm going to be doing parts where I'm going to be cutting out parts where you got your speakers, your place where you're going to plug in. That's for your headphones and for your lightning cable. Also for buttons and anything else that you're going to need to access. Because right now we're just doing basics. So the next thing I'm going to do, now that we have this shrink wrap all applied, or not applied, but it's there for a modifier, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to show you just kind of what this looks like now. I'll zoom in really close. Okay, and you can see if I'm as I'm pointing right here, that there's a very tiny gap. That's going to be the gap between our iPad and our object. Now, obviously, iPads do not have sharp corners like I'm showing here, but this is kind of our bounding box. So, I'll go ahead and zoom back out. Let's see. Zoom out. There we go. Now I'm going to add another modifier. This one's going to be solidify. On solidify, I'm going to take it from 10 nanometers up to 3 millimeters. So all I have to do is just press 3. There we go. My offset right now is going inward. I want it to go outward. So I'm going to set it to the positive direction. And that's assuming that all of your normals are facing outward as they should be. Now, I'm going to start playing around with these settings. Okay. I'm going to tab into edit mode. Tab. Yeah, that was the right one. Now, I'm also going to set my view on this object to X-ray. There we go. Press A to toggle no selection. Now, I'm going to press Control R. I'm changing the number of cuts to 2. Now, I'm going to take this edge loop that I just created. There we go. G, Y, X. Okay. Now, with that, I got it snapped exactly to the edge of the bounds here. I'm going to do G, X, negative 40. Okay, we'll negative that again. That was not where I wanted to be. All right. Do the same for this one. GX. Again. Negative 40. All right. There we go. Now I'm going to do the same thing on these corners here. G, Y. Y, negative 40. There's probably faster ways. If there are, make sure you comment on that. So I want this to have exact dimensions. Just to make this so it's easier. G, Y. G, Y, 40. Alright. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate some of these parts out. I'm going to have varying thicknesses, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to have all these thicknesses as their own solidify modifier, and it'll give me a little more control as to what is going to be going on with this. And I can have a little more control as to, you know, kind of where I'm going to be putting all my loop cuts and everything, because there are going to be some parts of it that I'd rather not loop cut, and if I have these objects where they're joining together, it's not going to be so difficult. So let's see. I'm going to go into face selection mode. Now let's see. These ones right here. Actually, before I do that, I need to get rid of this. X, F. That one's gone now. So now we're starting to get a little bit more complexity to our geometry. These ones I am going to take out. So I'm going to press P, selection. Also, while I'm at it, I need to rename these objects. So on this one, I'm going to name it with the convention of iPad case underscore 3.0 mm. I think that's what I determined was this one. Let's take a look at that modifier and we can adjust as necessary. Let's see. Yes, 3 millimeters. That's what I said it was. This new one, oh yeah, and also make sure that this is copied to the data. There we go. This one I'm going to take down, so I'm going to do that similar name. So I'll just hover over this, Control C, Control V, and I know I'm going to have to adjust that name. 1.5. Control C, Control V. Here's what it did. A 0.001. I don't want that. There we go. That's what I want. Next, I'm going to separate even more pieces out. So then, I'm going to do a 2.0 and a 1.0. So these objects right here, when I get to that, and folks, I know I can do a symmetry thing, but I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, same procedure as before. There we go. This one is going to be, yeah. The 2.0. Over that. Control C, Control V. All right. Now I'm changing my modifier on this one. So the thickness is now at 2. This one will be at 1.5. Now you're starting to see some pieces thinning in. Also, one thing to remember, this is something that I'd forgotten to do, even thickness. Just in case if your mesh starts acting weird. There we go. Next item, I'm going to do yet more separation on this one. Tab into edit mode. And first, I'm going to be doing kind of the top and bottom chord of the trusses. So I'm going to do Control R. Now, do the same thing. Oh yes. 2 cuts. I want to make sure of that too. If I'm doing top and bottom, I'd better have both of them. Now, there we go. Okay, so G, Y, -5. G, Y, Y, 5. All right. Be the same thing on the other side. Okay. Now we have those items. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these faces that I just created, put them into another object. So, Control Tab, F. You'll notice that these things disappeared. You just have to go and toggle back into it. That's all. It's nothing too crazy. Okay. That. And that. And we're going to do P selection. There we go. You're probably asking yourself, how many things are you going to separate here? It's coming, don't worry. I'm going to go back into here. Creating this object. And this one's going to be a 4.0. Do the same thing over here. There. Oh, yes. Okay, next thing what I want to do is I'm going to do Control R, just like that same procedure we were doing with the other stuff. Now, this one I'm going to do 5 loop cuts. 5. There we go. Same thing over here. There. Now, next thing I'm going to go into my vertex select mode. I'm going to join these together, and I'm going to get rid of extraneous vertices. I'll start there. I'm going to press J. 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 Continuing until it's all the way done. J. Press A. All right, now I'm going to go back to, well, I'm already in vertex select mode, so that doesn't do any lick of good. I'm going to select all these other alternate vertices. X vertices. Vertices and edges are still there. That's what we want. We're going to take an alternate approach to this one. All right. Same thing. X vertices. There we go. And now I'm going to extrude these by pressing E, Z, -1. Now the solidify modifier is going to be working in a different way because we're going to use this to do the thickness of our web members. So remember I said this is going to be iPad case 4.0 millimeters? That's exactly what I'm going to do. Thickness is now going to 4. Now, the next thing I need to do is that you'll notice that they're kind of pointing outward right here. I don't want that. And when I did the thickness originally, I'd actually done a test run on this before I started this video. Here's what I did. My offset I put at 0. So that is how I solved that. And now, if we look at this, I'm going to turn off the X-ray view for all these. And there we go. There's the back of the iPad, to where now we have a good start here. So I'm going to conclude here, and I'm going to have another video for the next week, I should say. The next week I should have another video for you where we're going to go into more detail on this iPad cover. So this is the beginning of the Trussworks iPad cover, and as we conclude with this, I'm going to make this available for sale at shapeways.com. So yeah, so anyway, I hope you really enjoyed that. I know I really enjoyed making this, and I'm going to be doing more of these, so I really hope you'll follow me as I'm doing more of these creations. I'm going to be doing not just the iPad covers, but I'm also going to be doing iPhone covers, and I'm going to be doing interior decor, a whole bunch of things. So I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to leave comments and feedback, and I really love to see your ideas on some things that I could put for some custom items. So I had a fun time. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate this. And I hope you have a wonderful day.